the amount of times that the perpetrator, the person that, look at me using my words, yeah. You know, I be watching this so much. I'm calling their ass perpetrators, not even suspects. Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Clocking Life, where we keep it real, have hard conversations, and talk about the things that people usually avoid. I'm your host, Jasanya. Y'all, I know it's been a little longer than I expected, so I do apologize for that. Before we get into this episode, I want to ask you guys to interact. I see y'all watching. I know you're watching. I can see it. I look at my analytics. I can see that you're watching. You're not engaging, okay? I need engagement. I need you to like the video. I need you to comment, share it, engage, okay? Engage with me. Talk to me. I'm here for the comments. I'm here for the feedback. I'm here to hear what you got to say about the episode. You know what I'm saying? What was your favorite part? What part stood out to you? What part captured you? Any type of conversations been coming up at home? Any type of conversations been coming up in your family? I'm here for the feedback. I want to hear the feedback. Let me know what's going on. Thank you. Before we get into this episode today, I do want to do a mental check-in. Again, let's stop and pause and just think about our day. Think about what we're going through. Just think about everything in life. Let's just ask ourselves, am I okay mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, physically? All of those things. Those things matter because you got to understand that everything in life that happens, whether it's good, bad, sad, up, down, whatever it is, it always comes back to how are you doing mentally. That plays a part in how you handle everything. Honestly, you can be going through something. If you okay mentally, physically, financially, all that, you might laugh some shit off. You might be like, alright, cool. They playing with me. This happening. That's happening. We ain't gonna take it that far. It ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying? It might be one of those type of situations. If you're not okay, physically, mentally, emotionally, let's not talk about financially. If you are not okay financially, the amount of things that can go left just because you unstable right now. I'm saying you got a lot going on, you thinking about a lot. It's a lot on your mind. Just take a second. Pause and just think. Is everything okay? Okay? Now, let's get into the episode. Before we get into the episode, let me go turn this TV down because I feel like it's loud. It's also really hot in here. I don't want to start sweating. See if I'm going to turn some air on or not. Okay. Alright. I got me a little bit of air, so that should be good. Let's see what time it is. Cool. It is currently 11:40 p.m. So we're going to keep this less than an hour. This is my new phone case, guys. Originally, when I first started, I had made some cue cards. So I'm like, I'm gonna do cue cards every episode with my logo on the back, you know what I'm saying, promo, advertisement, boom, marketing type. Then I'm thinking, in this day and world, we really don't use cue cards for we really digital world. Everything is like on our phones. Honestly, where I outline my episodes are on my phone. I had decided to get a personalized Clocking Life phone case for the phone that I usually do most of my behind the scenes, my blueprint, all that type of stuff. That's why I got this out. When I was using my cue cards instead of having to make new ones every episode, because we still clocking life, we just have it on the phone. Think smarter, not harder. Smarter, not harder. We talked about our mental health. We talked about things, and like how I said, it really depends. That depicts everything. The next moves, all of that just depends on how you're doing mentally. What I wanted to come on here and talk about, some sirens that you hear outside. The sirens, that's the problem these days. The sirens, there's so much fucking shit going on. There's just so much going on. Sounds really close. The other day I was sitting outside picking my kids up from their dad's house. A car flew down the street. They see here comes Southfield police flying up behind them. It's about 3 of them. Listen, you just never know. I thought that was on my block, so I just had to check my cameras real quick. When we talked about mental health, I said these sirens. It's crazy that the sirens is what's popping us off, because what I wanted to talk about today is these crime shows that I am so addicted to. Just a little background. Years ago, I was so hooked on First 48, so addicted. I would binge watch it for hours, lose track of time, just embedded in these shows. I'm so invested in them. I'm like paying attention to every little detail. I'm helping solve crimes through the screen. I'm like, no, you gotta go check this, boom, 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 this point to this, boom, boom, boom. This is way back in high school. High school it started. When I got to college, my original major was criminal justice. When I first started freshman year, it was criminal justice. I wanted to be a homicide detective. I felt like I was so good at it. I'm watching these shows. I'm seeing what's going on. I'm being able to put two and two together, piecing the pieces together. You feel me? Boom. I'm doing criminal justice as my major. I said wanting to be a homicide detective. As the school year went on, or that semester or whatever, boom, when it got back to wintertime, I go back to Detroit from state, MSU. I'm working at the food restaurant. I'm working at Steve's Soul Food, the one downtown. We getting a lot of traffic. We get a lot of police officers. They coming in, they ordering food. I'm talking to them. I always talk to people. Wherever I go, I'm not shy. I love to network. I love to learn things. You don't learn things if you don't ask questions. I'm asking all these questions to the police officers. I'm telling them I'm trying to be in your field. I want to be a homicide detective. He was asking me, how are you with smells and being able to get things out of your mind? I feel like I could do it. I've been in a predicament or whatever. He goes to describe these two gruesome scenes. One of them, he was telling me about a 9-year-old who passed away his arm. He had like an 8 or 9-year-old at home. So how that hit home to him. There was another scene he was telling me about. It was like a missing person or a dead person. It could be both or whatever. They get to the scene. The person had been dead for a while. They said it was laying on top of a bucket. The insides of their body was going inside of the bucket. During the midst of the investigation on the scene, the bucket tipped over. He talked about the smell and the liquid and how it got on everything. The way he described it, I was like, maybe I would have to get to that point. Maybe eventually that type of stuff won't bother me. He ended up telling me, like, no matter whether you want to be a detective or not, you still have to climb the ladder. You still have to be a patrol officer. You still have to be this type of officer. You have to get to here. Then you get to that point. It's levels to it. You can't just go to college, get out of college, and just become a detective. No matter what kind of detective you are, you have to have some experience. And so you gotta have some experience that build up to that point. Like, basically, whether I go to school for it or not, I'm gonna start off in the field. You know what I'm saying? In the cop car, doing traffic stops, those type of things. I'm like, it's not that I can't go that route. Why go to college and use all this funding for that route when I gotta go start from the bottom? It's kind of a trade. It's like you could just go to police academy and work your way up. With all that information, just knowing what is possible, let me change my major. So I changed my major because I'm still like, I'm into families. I want to keep families together. Like, that was like one of my main things. I never wanted to just work with adults alone. I feel like adults are stuck in their ways. Whatever's going on, they feel that way. I don't want to just counsel or do therapy and all that type of stuff with adults alone. I feel like if I was going to do something like that with adults, I wanted it to involve family. That's the only time I really wanted to deal with adults, because I'm a family type of person. I go to my advisor and I'm explaining to her what I want to do in life, who I want to interact with in life, how I want to help. That's how I ended up joining the major of human development and family studies. Boom, fast forward, like I said, I was still into the homicide stuff. I used to binge watch the shows, all that. First 48, loved it. Now we gonna fast forward to today. I think I told y'all already when I was in Puerto Rico. When I was in Puerto Rico, I was binge watching this show. It was basically like a homicide show. It was actually called Homicide. It was based in New Orleans, and it was lit. I enjoyed it. I was tapped in. I was invested. I was just, like locked in. Like, all right, trying to solve these crimes. So then, lately, I just been on watching it. So, heard all them police sirens and stuff. Something must have just happened. Close by, it was a whole bunch of sirens and horns and ambulance. Right. I've been watching these shows on YouTube. So one of them was like BodyCam POV. Another one's called like Law and Crime Network. It's just I'm not looking for the actual shows or the actual channels, but I'm just watching videos or whatever, and then I'm rabbit holes. So I was going to the next video, or I see a video underneath it and the title looks catchy, interesting. I want to see about this situation. So when I say like the same way how I used to be in high school, sun up to sundown, getting lost in time, all that, that's how I've been watching these shows on YouTube, right? Watching these shows, I'm looking, I'm paying attention. So then I noticed too, so you got all different types of shows, documentary, reports on whatever happened. So you have some that's, they do like a dramatic display, a reenactment of what happened, and then you have some shows where you like get like the interrogation room, the interview room, you get the footage from that. And some of the things that I noticed that I really enjoy, as opposed to just watching crime shows, like I love the ones that, okay, storage got full. Alright, I need to get some other footage off these cameras. I need y'all to promise me something though real quick. Before we even continue on, I need y'all to promise me that you are going to start engaging with my channel. Like, engage with me, okay? Just watching, not liking, not following, not subscribing, all that type of stuff. No, engage, interact. Like, we live in a world full of followers, and because once everybody else on the bandwagon, then all your people that's around want to be on the bandwagon, okay? So that's one thing. It's like, until you win over a certain type of crowd or certain type of people, you don't have no support, nobody, fucking with you for real. And then when people do fuck with you, they just fuck with you because other people fuck with you. They don't even know about you, they don't care about you, they don't, nothing. Okay? They don't want to kick it with you, skate with you, none of that shit, okay? Everybody's just so fake. We live in a world full of fake ass people, and it's so annoying. It's so annoying. Just be you authentically, okay? It's free. Like, you want to, but you just looking and seeing like, oh, this person not and this person not. Like, if it was Cardi B or Nicki Minaj or Megan Thee Stallion or Offset or shit, Jack Funny 313, like certain people in the city, like Cash Out, let Cash Out or Jack Funny 313 post any of the clips that I posted already. You know how many people have already seen it, but posting it, he fuck with her, I'm about to fuck with her. Like, y'all, we need to change the way the world is, okay? It's not, stop being followers, okay? You can't see where you're going if you're following behind somebody else. You need to be a leader. Alright? Back to the episode. Alright, I'm watching these shows, so I'm realizing like ones with the body cam are like interesting to me. Those are the ones that I really prefer. I prefer those better than like just narrating the story and saying like, oh yeah, it was reported that this happened, and this person reported that this happened, da, 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 da. Okay? Like to watch the body cams, like I like to see people, like it feel like you there, you know what I'm saying? Like you get to see their reaction, all that type of stuff. You get to see like whether they empathetic or lack of, so it's just like, it's just so intriguing to me. I just love it. I just be so excited. I be so invested, so into it. So with the body cam, all right, thing that I had started noticing was like when you pick up on different things when you on the scenes or whatever. So, for instance, it was a lady, she called, she said that her son was missing. She said that he had ran away, he always runs away, this was normal, da da da. So then the police like, okay, let me go check in your house and just double check and look everywhere to make sure, you know, you didn't miss anything. You know, maybe he's hiding here or something right there. She's like, okay. Turned around and she was like, nah. She changed her mind. She didn't want them to go in the house and search. And then she left the scene and went to go meet up with another person or whatever. Boom, she fast forward, they end up finding out that the kid is no longer with us. Then they end up finding the actual body, like in the closet or attic, something of those natures, right? He goes on to say she knew about it and her other son did it. And then the part where she said he did it, it was because she locks them in a closet. No, not a room. She locks them in a closet every single night because they steal food. Then the way they describe how malnourished the kid was, even herself in her interview, she talked about how she was, you know, losing weight because she don't have no food, no money, this, that, and the third, and all of that. And then she went on to say what the other son had did in that closet to take the other son away from us. But whatever the case may be, I was just stuck on like parenting before all of that happened. So say he run away often, that's not uncommon, that's a normal thing, whatever. He's just saying like lock them in the closet, like really parents that are so unfit to be parents, like to lock your kids in the closet like for several hours per day, like this is the norm, like this is regular, because you feel like, oh, and it just raised so many questions. Because like parents, like, get me wrong, there's so many moments where frustration is like it's abundant, okay? Where it's sure times to overstimulate. I tell anybody, quick, fast, and hurry. Like, I am one of those parents that, yes, I get overstimulated sometimes. Like, sometimes it's just a lot, you know? Like, it could just be a lot. Sorry. It's just so much noise outside, and I don't like it. That's another thing. Like, that shit be having me, like, out for stuff all the time. And that's why I stopped watching it back then, because what used to happen was, this is why I stopped being so invested in the first 48. What used to happen was I would watch it for so many hours. I look up, it's about 2, 3 in the morning. Now it's time for me to go to sleep. I'm having nightmares. Like, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that was happening. It was like his cases that like wouldn't have been solved, or like I feel like I know something about the case and I'm thinking about it and I'm going to sleep thinking about it, and I'm trying to do stuff that I can't do. You know what I'm saying? And this stuff happened years ago, and I'm over here like, I wish I could tell them to check this and you know what I'm saying? So stuff like that. Like, that's why I stopped watching it. Got to a point where it's like, all right, I watch it, but then I had to be cautious and conscious of when I watched it. Like, I watch it the last day before you go to sleep. So I finished watching that night. Now it's time to watch some other things before you go to bed. Watch something funny. Watch Martin. Watch, you know, Wayne's Brother, something like that. I had to redirect my energy. Like, I can't go to sleep directly after watching crime shows. It does something to me. It traumatizes me. So I said, unfit mother, right? To find out the son didn't do it, she had done it. And it was just like, that was one of the things that really like my attention, was the unfit parenting. So then I'm looking into these cases, right? Looking at like these cases that I'm watching. When I say it is so common, like, no, this is a statistic, and I know they've said this before. They like, no, they always tell you if it's like a stabbing, like that was personal, it was people who knew each other, or if it was, you know, a beating, like, tell you all the time. But the amount of times that the perpetrator, the person that, look at me using my words, yeah, you know, I be watching this so much, I'm calling they as perpetrators, not even suspects. But perpetrators are usually so fucking close to the victim. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's usually like the chances, like the stakes, the statistics of the amount of times it's not a stranger is so interesting to me, because for one, I can say this, like, of course there are situations that happen when they're strangers, and a lot of times those are actually more unsolved. right? Those are more unresolved because you don't get the pieces to get back to that part of the puzzle. You know what I'm saying? If it's random, completely random, no ties, no connections, it's hard to solve those type of situations. Okay, the ones that are not, like, even when it seems like it could have been random, it come back to somebody that's so close to them. Like, oh, that junk is so crazy. And then people be so calculated. They calculate these crimes, and it be from pure hate and like, and that's why I said in the beginning, how are you mentally? Because one thing that people have not even been thinking about is like, this person would do this to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, situation. It was a ooh, it was so juicy. Listen, but it was crazy at the same time. Like, people be so obsessed with this type of stuff that they really calculate it out so far in advance. It was one. It's like a man with a wife. Months he calculated this and acted like he was somebody else. So he knew that she had an ex. He portrayed himself to be the ex, acting like a stalker. So he's saying stuff. He telling this lady what she doing in real daytime. You know what I'm saying? Real time. I know you went to the dentist today. I love a woman with clean teeth. Yeah, took a picture of himself and sent it to her. Like, yeah, this is your husband. He drives slow like an old lady. It to her, you know what I'm saying? From an email address named after the ex-boyfriend. So, come to find out, you know, he did this for months. He ended up taking his wife out of the game. You know, basically, the marriage wasn't going to work out. They were already separated. You know, he was trying to make it work. He was thinking that the stalking was going to bring her closer to him. So then, in the midst of that case, his ex-girlfriend comes out. She had went through something similar with him in college, where he portrayed to be stalkers to her of people that she really knew in real life. And then she would go back to those people and ask them, you know, why did you say this? Why did you say that? And they like, I never said that to you. I never text you this. I never did it. And she did an investigation. We'll come to find out it was him. So fast forward, this same guy is doing that to his new wife. So it's like I said in my last episode, remember I told you, when somebody show you who they are, believe them. Like, certain things that we'd be like, oh yeah, I never do this, I never do this, I can't see myself doing this. Yes, we could, given certain circumstances, okay? A lot of things are circumstantial. A lot of things are, okay, normally you wouldn't want to hurt somebody. But just like last time somebody did something like this to you, you hurt them. If that was to happen again, you have the potential to do it. Okay, so like I said, you have to trust people, believe people when they show you who they are. So he ended up being a person, right? He was the perpetrator. He had done that. And go back and you just think like, it was really, like I said, calculating harm on some people that, you know, when it comes to that mental, that emotional, listen, if you don't know how to control them emotions, baby, you in for a rude awakening, a hell of a life situation. Like, being self-aware, knowing what the fuck is possible, what you are capable of, is like one of the first steps in preventing yourself from going down the wrong path when it comes to know how to control your emotions. People do not know how to control their emotions. So that's why I asked you, how are you feeling? Like, things can make you snap, and it could be because of what's going on in another area. You could be broke, just lost your job recently, you're struggling to pay the bills, and somebody wanna accuse you of cheating or go cheat on you. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that could be that one thing that just tick you off, like take you over the edge. And then let's not even think, okay, so let's mention too some Detroit cases. Like, I just watched one the other day. In the beginning of the episode, a young lady named Sparkles, it was her being taken away, and that pissed me off because Detroit and Metro Detroit, response. We got the worst response system out of every episode that I have watched, every case that I have watched over these past couple of weeks, months. I'm watching case after case after case, day in, day out, hours. Metro Detroit has the worst response time I've ever witnessed. Like, I thought that myself, because I've been in some situations myself personally, and I can say there's been times where either no one showed up, they showed up hours later, or when they did show up one time, they showed up quick one time and they arrested me. And I was the one who called them. And the complaints that I gave them, I just think, and I always just thank God for how every situation turned out. I always do, because you look at these other cases and you're not always favored. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't always work out the best for the woman. It doesn't always work out the best for the victim. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, shit, for when I got arrested that time, when I had called, like I said, it definitely should not have been that way. However, hey, shit, I did what I had to do, okay? One thing I learned for sure, especially when it comes to Detroit, Metro Detroit, you do have to take the law into your own hands. Sometimes you do have to just protect yourself, because I'm going to tell you right now, and this is just from me to you, being real, being honest, like I said, being in multiple situations. Keeping it real, Detroit, the police, they're not doing shit. They're not doing anything to help you. I done seen so many cases too where they get there, they have a GSW, they ain't doing shit. They ain't doing no CPR. They not applying pressure to stop the bleeding. They're doing nothing. They're standing around trying to figure out, oh, what happened? You so busy trying to worry about what happened, who did it, which I understand is important, but at the same time, where are the life-saving measures for the person that's at stake? If we could save them, we probably could prevent some M's, you know what I'm saying? Some of those M things that be happening. We could prevent a lot of that. Like, it was another one I was watching, and they outside having a standoff for hours. How about they made entry 7 hours later? You stood outside 7. Are you hearing all type of stuff? Like, police is, like, I understand it's a safety thing, and I understand, like, you don't want to get taken out too, but it's 50 of y'all. It's 50 of y'all. Like, go up in that house. Go up in there. Whew. It gets crazy. But let's circle back to some stuff. Like I was saying, it be people that's so close to you, like the people at the bottom of your list that you would ever expect, that be doing this shit. And it's just so crazy. And seeing so many family dynamics where it's just like the mama and the daughter, crazy, like, and their child's father, crazy. Like, it be families, like parents, siblings, like the amount of parents that I've seen, their daughters. And then one lady, she talking about she better be. I'm just sitting here like, be going on in these families. Like, I am such a family oriented person. Like, I feel like families, like, we're so important. Like, I tell my kids this. I'm like this with my family. Like, you gotta think, it's so much going on in the world, so many people out here. If you can't call on your family and be there with your family, then who can you kick it with? Who can you be cool with? You know what I'm saying? So it's just, I just see so many situations where the parenting has failed, honestly. And that's why I would say, to a lot of these situations that I've seen, it's just, even some of the parents have said it themselves, like their teenagers are getting caught up in stuff, and they like, I'm not hiding nothing, I'm not keeping nothing from you. And they're asking themselves, like, have I failed as a parent? What have I done wrong? You know what I'm saying? And I always try to think about that, because I preach, I tell you all the time, I have 2 boys, okay? I have no daughters. I have 2 sons. I have a bunch of nephews, few nieces, goddaughter, nice females, all type of stuff. But need support, okay? Men and women, actually. And it's different types of support that I'm talking about now. So when I think about what I've seen, women, it's not being taken serious enough when domestic situations are being reported. Women are calling family members, women are calling the police, women are saying, I've been threatened, this has happened to me, this has happened to me. And then within 30 days, she's out of here because of said guy. And now it's too late. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got the nurses, the people that's plotting on them, sitting outside in the parking lot, coming up in hospitals. But you got so many situations where there's been a cry for help. There's been, oh, I need a PPO, and then people are being denied, or people are trying to live, and then that's another thing, people can't survive on their own. That's another thing that happens in families. Like, if you look at my last episode, and you just pay attention to the conversation me and my brother had, he was living with someone else, hard, rough times. He got into it with my dad, who's also in hard, rough times, living with someone else. So they're both living in someone else's house. And hard times, you know what I'm saying, boom. And then you hear my brother explain what happened. Mind you, he has video recordings of this. Something that has traumatized him, something that he's seen with his own two eyes, and something that he was able to record and can replay over and over and over again. Although it also, I'm sure, it replays in his mind, just vividly, in his mind. But then it's like, any little thing that you forgot, you have video footage that you can watch. You know what I'm saying? And it's how family dynamics get torn up and broken apart because people are in struggling situations. That it's hard times, and they're forced to be around each other and to be under the same roof. It gets frustrating. And if you're not okay mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, financially, shit goes left. Shit just gets so out of hand, you know what I'm saying? And it could be something that a typical person will usually, alright, I'm gonna walk off and cool off. Whereas if you are stuck in these situations, you're bound to these predicaments. Like, listen to what he was saying. This was during COVID times. It's not so many places that you can go. It's not so many other things that you can do. So it's just like, that's why it's so important to be able to understand that. And self-awareness and acknowledgement on your own is one of the most important things to do, is just say, I'm not okay. Like, I'm not alright. Like, no, I'm not okay. Like, way you can isolate yourself. You can take a step back, remove yourself. Because you don't want to lash out on the next person. You know what I'm saying? Like, financially, people don't understand how financial pain, financially being unstable financially plays such a big part on somebody's mental health, okay? You're not able to pay your bills. You're not able to go out the way you want to. You're not able to order some food the way you usually would. You're not able to just travel, just up and go, whatever it is that you cannot do that you used to do because you no longer have the funds for the fun. Like, people don't understand that'll tick you off. You already having a bad day, and then somebody come over here and piss you off. You know, like the family dynamics. Like I said, a lot of times it's not even that person. It's not even the fact that, oh, don't like that person, or oh, hate your brother, or oh, you hate your dad, or your mom, or the daughter. It's not usually that. It's just a stipulation of so many different things going on, so much unstableness going on, that is no control over it. You don't have control over this up here. So whatever triggers you to pop off, you're popping off. You're popping off. Like, the amount of people that go on live and are, on live, and it's like, you're popping off. You know what I'm saying? You're not in control up here. And sometimes that happens. But if everybody is out of control, just imagine the amount of crime that's going to happen. Because who was able to de-escalate the situation if we all, you know what I'm saying? That's just crazy. That being said, of course, families break up. Trust is broken. The bonds, everything is like, it's not the same. And like I mentioned in that last episode, like, I definitely want you guys to go back and watch it. But it's been, I think he said, what, 8 years? And, you know, the communication is there, the connection is back there, the bonding is going on, and they are able to be around each other. They're able to, you know, have fun with each other and sit down and have a conversation and not be so awkward and weird. But you gotta remember, like, you gotta think about all the people that was impacted. Like, me and my siblings, we are super close. Okay, we're close to our parents too. So with my sibling feeling the type of way about one of my, you know what I'm saying? Like, that just create a weird dynamic in the family, honestly, because it's like, I'm not picking nobody's side. I'm not saying I'm on this person's side or I'm on that person's side. I'm going to definitely say, you're wrong as hell. You were very wrong. But I'm not saying, I'm not here to be like, oh, on this person against that person. It's more of a, you were wrong, fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was more so my approach to the situation. Like, went way out of pocket doing that to my brother. You were wrong, fix it. You know what I'm saying? Because you both are people that I truly love and care about. So fix it. That was more so the approach. It's not oh, I hate you because I'm on this side and you was wrong. Oh, no, I hate you. Nah, I never fuck with you again. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not how things should go. So it's like that created a wedge, because it's like, I don't hate you, but you were wrong and I support what was right. So it's like I said, fix it. That junk is crazy. But you would hear people say certain things like, yeah, I hate my dad, or I hate my mom. And it's like certain situations that you witness. And like I said, even these crime cases that I'm watching, you know, what's going on in my own family. Like, if you watch my past couple of episodes, like, you would hear the dynamic, the conflicted dynamic between my mom and her mom. And then you also hear, like, conflicted dynamic between my brother and my dad. The other conflicted, you know, relationships in there. But it's like, growing up, I never understood how somebody could be like, I hate my mama or I hate my dad. Like, how? What do you mean? Like, could you? The only time I really thought somebody could genuinely feel like that is like if they were like foster care or something and their parents like them. But then when people was in foster care and their parents didn't abandon them, they just, you know, had something else going on. I always still was like, you know, well, you gotta just be thankful that your mom knew she couldn't take care of you, so she gave you off to somebody that could. But no, when I look back and watch these cases, listen to these stories, and just watch all this stuff unfold, like, I genuinely can see how somebody can have such gruesome and heinous feelings towards their parents. I do. Like, the abuse, all different types of abuse, like locking kids in closets and beating kids because of that, and kids hide under the desk and you got rats and roaches crawling around. Jesus, Lord. Jesus, Lord. It's so crazy, like, so cringe to just think about too, because it's like, I'm a mother and I could never imagine like such cruel, long-lasting punishments and discipline. Like, that lasts for that long? Or really do that to your kid? You could, you know what I'm saying, like, to your kid. Like, I'm nobody to judge, but I am one to speak on things that we usually don't like to speak about, okay? This is where we have hard conversations. We talk about the things that people usually avoid. And this is one of the things that people usually avoid talking about. It needs to get better. It needs to be fixed. It's crazy, okay? It's like, my God, the Detroit family. Like I said on that episode when it was Sparkles, and it was a girl. Her name was Zalea. She called and she asked for help. She told them people, he's trying to hold me hostage. He told me he was going to kill me. He said he was going to do X, Y, and Z. And lo and behold, that man did it to her. That man did it to his mama and his daddy. And his mama had just bailed him out about 2 weeks before that. Just for you to end up at the victim at his hands. Because he done dogged the mama out of the daughter. Or I don't know if it's a daughter or son, but Zalea, the girl, he had tortured her did some crazy stuff to her, went to jail for it. And that's another thing, us as women, you know, we try to forgive people. We give you a chance to come back around and be in the kid's life. Okay, you know, you said you wouldn't do it again. All right, come up, allow you to see your child. You come back over. Now it's same bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, now his mama at the hands of his assaults. But you just saved him. You just bailed him out. And that's another thing. We don't hold our sons accountable. We don't hold them accountable. We always want to save their ass. Like, we need to allow people to suffer a little bit, you know? Even if it's for a little bit. Let you sit in there for a couple of weeks. Because you should never have done that to her. Like, man, listen. You get crazy. We also have some times where families do stick together. Families are there to support one another. And those are the ones that I do enjoy. One, this guy, he was poked a couple times. Family was able to get together and say, I know this, I know this. He told me this, he told me that. This person was involved, even an ex. I'm saying, no, this is what happened. Like, we did have this going on. Like, you need to speak up. Or like, even go on family vacations, go on family trips more. Like, enjoy life. Like, that's the thing that people are not doing so much, is enjoying life with each other. I have a family road trip coming up soon. The road trip it's about a 12-hour drive. My oldest brother was like, that seemed like a long drive. Well, it'll be fun. I remember being younger when I first started traveling and stuff like that. First of all, you need to see beyond what's in your city, beyond what's around you. A lot of people get to, I'm not moving out of the city, I love my city, this, that, and the third. You ain't saying shit. You got to move, you got to travel, you got to go see beyond where you are. There's more to life than just being in your urban city. But that's one thing. It's life out there. It's things that you can do. It's ways to have fun. You don't even have to have that. You don't have to have a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? Just think about the people that's living in certain states that has a beach. The beach is free. So it's just like certain experiences, certain things that you can do are memorable. They should be memorable life experiences. Families need to get together and spend more time together in order to alleviate some of that extra stress. You know what I'm saying? You need to be able to see beyond your walls. You need to be able to understand that it might be bad right here, right now. We can see beyond this. You know what I'm saying? We can see beyond this. I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to taking that 12, 13-hour drive with my kids. With the family, just being able to see things, talk about things, like the kids be asleep. We could play some road trip games, talk about some stories, have some conversation. Family needs to come together. I just want y'all to think about your own family dynamics. Just think about all the stuff that you've gone through, whether it's good or bad. For a lot of people in Detroit are really good with their family. We really connected. We stick together. We have barbecues. We have functions, get-togethers, all that type of stuff. Embrace that. Like, we take pictures, we post videos. Let's do it more. Let's do it more. Let's embrace it. Let's make it popular. We live in a world full of followers. Let's make that popular. Let's boast and brag about it more. Because I've seen over the years that it has picked up a lot. Because we post our Friendsgivings, our Friendsmas, our Galentines with our friends for Valentine's Day. You know, they get together for this event and they get together for that event and the birthday party and that type of stuff. Like, I've seen the engagement amongst family increase over the years. Honestly, I have. I get a lot of people telling me that. Like, I love how you and your family get together. Y'all have fun. Y'all game nights together. All type of stuff. Like, do it too. I see people that do it, and I feel like it trickles. You know what I'm saying? Some things are contagious, and that's the thing that I feel like is contagious. Is good job, good fun, good vibes. You know, that's good energy. Thing too that I've noticed, like with my episodes that I've posted so far, and like I said, that's why I say, like, I need engagement. I want y'all to actually interact, because this stuff I'm posting, this stuff that I'm putting out here is not only to help me and my own family, it's to help you and your family as well. Your friends, your loved ones, like people that you hate, like all of that. Like, I'm clocking life, okay? Like I said, I'm talking about I'm having hard conversations, speaking about things that people usually avoid, okay? These conversations need to be had. We need to make the world a better place. And I've noticed, like, even amongst the topics of things that I've spoken about on this channel alone, I've seen relationships coming together. I've seen them fixing themselves. And sometimes it's like, okay, talk about it. Let's sit down and talk about it. But you don't even have to talk about it. Sometimes you could just hear somebody else's perspective. And then you have your own thoughts, you know what I'm saying? You do that on your own. Sometimes y'all can talk to each other. And idea off idea, you know, thought after thought. However, it doesn't even need to be a conversation. It could just be like, okay, just, hey, how you doing? Like, I'm okay. What you doing for the holiday? Alright, like some things, just keep it pushing. And then maybe it'll come up at a good time. Like, talk about the one situation. You remember when we're seeing eye to eye when X, Y, and Z happened? Saying like thing is for us to evolve and to come together and to make things better in life. You know what I'm saying? Like all these connections and all that stuff. Like nothing should be challenged by everybody being in their own perspective and everybody having their own separate thing going on up here. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to just say, don't think that this is the end. Don't think, it's the end all be all. You always have to look at the glass from half full, okay? It's half empty. But let's look at it half full, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at the brighter side of things. It's always a brighter side to things, typically. Now, when somebody, is no longer with us, I can't tell you that there's a brighter side to look at, okay? I'm not here to do that for you. But majority of the time, there's a brighter side, okay? I do have some more things that I want to discuss, some more things that I want to talk about. As we continue through this summer, I know it's going to be a lot of things that are going to be touched on. Some people are going to feel some type of way. And if the shoe fits, then I want you to wear it, okay? It's going to continue, and I hope that we are all here again to sit here and have this conversation next time. I want you to stick around. I want you to stay out of trouble. I want myself to stay out of trouble, and I want me to stick around too. Be safe, be healthy, right? My brother would say stay dangerous. Sometimes you do have to stay dangerous because sometimes staying safe, you might not make it, okay? You have to stay a little dangerous, okay? In order to protect yourself. But other than that, like, I just feel like as people, like families, family, Ohana, family forever, right? Something like that. I'm not a big Lilo and Stitch fan, but before we leave this episode though, I had to clock one thing. So, one thing that I would say is be true to yourself. Treat people how you would want to be treated, okay? You're not. Be true to yourself, because at the end of the day, you do something to somebody else that hurts them, you gotta understand hurt people. So, close friends, parents, children, treat each other with respect, treat each other with kindness and dignity. You know what I'm saying? Like, treat each other the way that you would want somebody to treat you. You just never know how things may turn out. I think it's not the end all be all. Sometimes you just need to take a breather, just walk away and come back and address it later. That being said, happy Juneteenth. I hope that us as the Black people, we can learn to stick together more as a family, as friends. Hope that we can stop betraying each other, stop stabbing each other in the back, and be there for one another in all different types of ways. Like, just be there for each other. And this doesn't always mean financially or physically. Be there for somebody. And that's another thing that we're going to speak about in one of our upcoming episodes. It's like people having these expectations of somebody physically and financially always being there for them, to be there for them. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you can't be there for somebody physically, and you can't be there for them financially, but you can be there for them in other ways, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. So with that being said, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to yet another episode of Black in Life. Again, I am your host, Josiah, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.